Hi, everyone. Ken Campbell here. Welcome back to Hockey Unfiltered. And after a very, very busy and very, very productive day, we have with us Bill Armstrong, the GM of the Arizona Coyotes. Bill, thanks for doing this. I know you've had a long day, and it's the end of a long day for you, and I appreciate you taking the time.
You know, Ken, I haven't slept in 2 straight days, and normally I wouldn't do this interview, but I know you as a person, and I felt that I was obligated in some way to do this for you. So right after this, I'm going to bed.
Okay, good. Well, and in a way, I kind of do think you're obligated, Bill, because I want to tell a little story. I was doing a piece for the Hockey News a couple of weeks ago. The Coyotes were in town. Bill and I went out for lunch, and we talked about the future of the Coyotes. And I said to Bill at that lunch, I said, you know, Bill, Jack Mcbain would be a really good guy for you guys to go out and get. And he said, and he didn't even, I don't even know if you knew who Jack Mcbain was, Bill. I think you did. I think you did. But you said, that's a really good, you sort of snidely said, that's a really good idea. I'll bring that to our guys. So I'm going to take credit for that. So, but obviously you did get a really, really top-notch prospect in Jack Mcbain.
Well, congratulations for helping us. For that, we're going to get you a free Coyotes hat. And
nice.
Helping the Yotes win the cup with predicting that Jack Mcbain will now score the game winner, and you will take full credit for that.
Okay, fair enough. I'm on board with that.
It is a done deal. He's a big piece. Yeah, we're really excited to get him. You know, we had to really go out there and recruit and put together this presentation for him. And I think there were some things on the presentation that set us apart. And I've talked to you about some of the things that we do with the prospects. And I think it was just the small things that we do. And, you know, I told someone we won this recruiting battle without an arena. And I think we did it by the hockey people that we have in the organization, from John Ferguson to Shane Doan to Andre Tourné to myself. This was a commitment to surround Jack with the right hockey people, to not only help him to turn him into the best hockey player that he can be, but help the Coyotes win a championship.
You know, Bill, you know, it's been all about the future, obviously, in Arizona ever since you've got there. And you build assets for a reason, right? You build your assets for a reason. You had 5 second-round picks, so you give up one to get Jack Mcbain, if I'm not mistaken. You give up one of those picks to get Jack Mcbain. You've still got 4. You could parlay those into moving up in the first round a little bit. You could maybe even take a flyer on maybe a guy that people, high risk, high reward guy, whatever. But I mean, it's all part of that asset accumulation that you've talked about for so long that really led to you being able to make this deal, didn't it?
Yeah. And, we had some open discussions in the office about, because we're going to possibly have a ton of draft picks walking through the door, and how do you space out the years, and, can we go buy a player? And this is where, we felt as an organization that Jack could come right in and play for us, or at least have a chance to compete for a spot on our roster. And most times you draft guys, it's, they're 3 to 4 years away. And this would speed up the process to allow us to have some prospects that were ready to play. So for us, it was a no-brainer that we went out and did this. And I'm sure when we come to the draft, you're going to send your list in for me, to draft, and we'll pick the right guys.
So Bill, Jack Mcbain, he's a senior at Boston College. His season is done. They are not advancing to the top 16 of the NCAA tournament. When can we expect to see him wearing a Coyotes uniform? I would think sooner rather than later here.
Yeah, we've signed him with the intentions of him coming into play. He's got a small little injury that he played through in the finals. So we're gonna go back and see if we can help rehab him, speed up the process, and get him ready to play for his first NHL game and probably the upcoming weeks. So we're excited about that. It's a big adjustment going from college into the pro game, but with his size and his skating ability and his physicality, it'll give him a good chance. And I've always liked the process of whether you're a junior or college and you come into the pros. And if you can do it a little bit and get a taste of it, we did it with Parayko. We went down in the minors. I always felt it helps speed up the development of the players because they're not waiting, for a whole year to go by and, oh yeah, I wasn't ready. They get a little taste of pro, and it's a rude awakening for them on how big and fast and strong guys are. And now they go home in the summer and make the adjustments. So I've always liked it when they've come in at the end of the year and get a little bit of taste of pro hockey before they head back for the summer.
Okay, let's talk for a second about the other guy you got that had no intention of signing with the team that he belonged to, and that was Nate Smith with the Winnipeg Jets. He's a guy that it's a little different. His situation is a little different. First of all, he's still playing and will be playing until Minnesota State is eliminated from the NCAA tournament. Yeah. And he's also a junior. He's got 1 year to go. I'm trying to read the tea leaves here, and I would suspect that you don't want to put yourself in a situation where he's going back for a fourth year, and you will probably want to get him into the lineup as soon as possible as well. Is that accurate?
Well, that's, obviously we've just gradually introduced ourselves to him. Once his season is complete, we'll have that conversation with his agent and try to work out a contract. But he's somebody we're really excited about that. We were able to land 2 centermen, and center is a tough position, especially with some size. The thing about Nathan Smith is that he is extremely physical. He is a competitive human being. He gives everything that he has. And, he's probably looks a little bit like JT Miller, where he can score, make a play, and add some physicality to your lineup. So we're excited about that aspect of what he brings. And along with, Jack Mcbain, we've got 2 prospects coming in that we're excited. They're at the center position, and center's a hard position to fill.
Yeah, and when we talked a couple of weeks ago, you made it very clear that the Arizona Coyotes would not be shy in taking on dead money, bad contracts, whatever. And you did that with the Brian Little contract, and now you've turned that into this asset. And I know you talked about let's keep stacking a player on a player on a player and get better here. And I mean, obviously that was your whole MO here, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to come into a time to do a rebuild where the league's had a flat cap and its cap space is tight, and it has benefited the Coyotes because we've been able to take on some bad contracts that teams wanted to get rid of, and we've been able to take those contracts on for picks or prospects. And it has helped accelerate our rebuild, and it's helped us have a little bit of ability to not only create more draft picks at the draft. Like we last year we had 3 seconds, and at this point we've got 4 seconds and 3 firsts. So it's really for us it's helped us kind of speed up the rebuild.
And you talked about building out drafts, and you were talking about building draft. You've got the 24 built, you're building 25. I think one thing that we've seen with this deadline and a trend that's going lately is that these more like the picks are getting kicked down the road a little more. You know what I mean? And like you're seeing picks 3 years from now being traded. You didn't see that much in the NHL before. No,
you haven't, and I don't know if we started that trend, Ken. We started a lot of trends lately, but no, I think for us it's just a planning. It's a ability to plan, and you can only pick so many players in a draft.
Right.
Before it just can mess up your ability to sign them. So you certainly want to spread that out, and not only that, but when you stack them on the backside and you move them back, they're also currency that you have time to use. It's money in the bank, and that's something that you can operate with and always use later when you're trying to acquire a player.
Yeah, and I'm sure teams that are making trades and trading away picks are happy to say, yeah, let's make it 5 years from now or whatever, right? I might not even be around then. So, I'm sure that they're eager to make it a little down the road as well. Wanted to talk quickly about Harri Sateri. You picked him up on waivers after the Toronto Maple Leafs had agreed to terms with him. question number one, do you expect to remain on Kyle Dubas's Christmas card list? And two, what are your plans for a 32-year-old who's just coming off a gold medal in the Olympics?
Yeah, well, I would hope I would be on Kyle's Christmas list. It's only business, nothing personal. And, we just have to take advantage of the rules that are in front of us. And fortunate for us, we were able to get a goaltender off waivers after we had moved ours. So, fortunate for us that nobody was in front of us that wanted to claim him. So, but for us, it's a great look for us. He comes highly recommended. Corey Schwab, our goaltender coach, has had him before. He has experience, and I have some friends in the industry that know him and just absolutely raved about him. So we'll have a little bit of an immigration issue trying to bring him over and getting him playing right away. But I would think in the next 10 days, he should be ready to go for us. And we'd be really excited about just taking a look at him, and maybe he's got something for next year for us.
And I mean, another move you made that probably got lost in all the shuffle was you signed Karl Vejmelka to a 3-year extension at 2 point something, close to $3 million a year. Yeah. So you're moving along. Things are coming along.
Yeah, we tried to put together some deals with Mayo and Boyd and also Vejmelka that give us a little bit of consistency and show the core of our group that we're trying to make a difference and trying to keep everybody together. And it keeps us competitive. And every one of those guys are just tremendous about their work ethic and how they buy into the process of being a Coyote and trying to get better every single day they come to the rink.
Good. And just one last one here before we let you go, Bill. The one trade you didn't make today was involving Phil Kessel, obviously.
Yeah.
A guy who I think had expressed that, he would be open to going somewhere where he could maybe win a Stanley Cup. I'm sure the cap hit was an issue and all those other things. What happened or didn't happen that prevented you from getting some value for Phil?
Yeah, our Phil had expressed some interest in moving. We had expressed some interest in trying to acquire an asset for him, and everybody was on the same page. And Phil's had a good year. I think he's at upwards this year of 38 points, and still in his his old age, as we'd call it, he's been an effective player, an offensive, and really, I wouldn't say he is the young Phil Kessel, but he's a smarter version. Of the older Phil Kessel that still has some skill and can make plays and score. But what happened was he got caught in a cap issue, and the teams that inquired about him, they just couldn't fit him on their team because of the cap. And unfortunately, that's the way it was for Phil in this particular situation. But he's been a warrior for us. We love Phil. He's not only a quirky, funny guy who's quick-witted, but he's also someone that our young guys just absolutely love. And so he'll stay with us for the rest of the year and finish his year out and continue his game streak and come to the rink and try and get better every single day.
Do you envision any scenario under which, you might bring him back?
Yeah, I think you never know. He's been an effective player for us, and he certainly found a home with the Coyotes. So you never know. That could be an option. I think we'll wait to see, what's coming our way in free agency and where we line up in the draft.
Super. Well, Bill, as I said, it's been a very busy day for you, probably an emotionally draining day, and you probably want to get to your family. So I'll let you do that. And I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us today, Bill.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and thank you for helping us get Jack Mcbain. I never thought that you, and you really brought it to the forefront. So next time, I think I bought you lunch last time, but I think I might have to owe you another lunch again.
I think that would be good. Yeah. I'm just being a team player, Bill, just being a team player, just trying my best,
I appreciate your help.
Cheapest scout in the staff right there is what you are.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
Guys.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, Bill.